A year ago, I got to interview the legendary game designer Richard Garfield, who is also a PhD in math, and I was hoping that he could answer a question that I get asked all the time, which is, as a game designer, do you need to be good at math?
Uh, I think math helps, but um, you don't need a PhD. You need the math that's useful for designing games. I think is math you can learn on the streets. Um, um, like like if you know poker and you can handle the odds and you can sort of deal with the probabilities of it, then I think you're fine.
The thought process of math is very important, which is math is a lot about problem solving, and game design is about problem solving. So if you have a mathematical thinking, that's definitely a bonus. But I don't think it's a prerequisite. I think having a sense for things and intuition is much more important when it comes to balance, because as you'll play the game, you'll realize what feels balanced, and really, you're trying to get things to feel the correct way, to feel the way that you want them to feel, because nobody is going to be playing your game thinking this is mathematically incorrect, unless it feels off, and then they'll try and diagnose it through math. But very often, not having the right math is the right thing to do. Another example that I've seen is from Mark Paquin. He made a game called Treasure Island. And in the game Treasure Island, he said that he had this issue that players didn't feel it was properly balanced. Because in Treasure Island, you've got one player who plays as Long John Silver, and he's giving clues to the other players who are on the map, and they're looking for where the hidden treasure is. What players were giving as feedback was, it's not balanced. Long John isn't winning enough. The designer was like, no, it is balanced. I keep track of how often players win, and Long John wins in a 5-player game approximately 1 in 5 times. Well, that might be the case, but in players' heads, it actually feels like it's Long John versus the rest, which should be like 50-50, whether Long John takes it or the other players. So actually, for it to feel correct, it needed to be mathematically incorrect. And so what Mark Paquin, the designer, did is he actually balanced it so if you're playing as Long John, you're more likely to win. Reading recently a book of lenses, which is a book on game design. Very good book. If you're a game designer, you should check it out. He was talking about, he has a background in juggling. And he said that there would be these different this place where jugglers would meet up and they'd practice juggling and they'd learn from each other and talk about it. And there was this one juggler who was doing this crazy, crazy stuff, like all types of juggling. And he went over to him and he was like, hey, what's your secret? Like, why are you so much better than everybody else? And you've got your own, like, cool, neat juggling tricks and all that. And what the juggler told him was, I take inspiration from everywhere except juggling. Look everywhere else and put that into your juggling, right? Because that's when creativity can really shine and you can get something really new because you're mixing something that works somewhere else into here. So whatever you are doing, all life experience should go into your games, or it can go into your games. And actually, that's what my conversation with Richard Garfield led to.
I think that every area of life that interests you can inform your game design in the same way that there's no topic that's wasted for an author. If the author is interested in history, that's going to help their writing. If they're interested in linguistics, that's going to help their writing. If they're interested in math, that's going to help their writing. And all that is true for games as well. So math is useful, but I sort of see it in the same category.